This is Iron Bill. Let's do it.
The Witch Queen and the majestic throne world.
Since then, it's been a wild year for Destiny.
You return to the original loot cave to reclaim the fabled Gallarhorn.
Then, you exorcised an ancient evil from a Hive Queen. So you could put it inside a grenade launcher.
And now, you've been spending the past few weeks cleansing a derelict Leviathan from its twisted nightmares.
In fact, the last year has been the best year we've ever had in the Destiny community. I hope you can feel it as well. And seeing this kind of reaction from our community, it's both humbling and inspiring.
Because our team here at Bungie, we're not just developers, we're also guardians. We're trying to build what we'd love to play in Destiny, and that's what brought each one of us here. Brought us not only to Bungie, but also brought all of us to this final showdown between light and darkness.
So, without further ado, this is the beginning of the end. This is Lightfall.
So, what will the new Darkness subclasses be? Let's see.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us. To savor the fruitless struggle to its last drop. It's who they are. Let them come and see. I'll shape, reveal what they do then. Unshackled from hope. That is who they because only in the end
Look at those new abilities. Notice everything's green? New Darkness subclass teased.
I've seen that thing 100 times now, and every time I see it, I still kind of get goosebumps.
Instantly, I had chills. It's all here, it's all happening now. Things are finally coming to a head.
Thematically, we really have been honing in on that kind of bombastic, big set piece approach.
It's gonna be over-the-top action, adrenaline pumping, like the whole time.
This is really kicking off the conclusion to the Light and Dark saga, where we finally face down this foe that we've been anticipating facing for so long. It's pushing it to 11.
We've been hinting at this malicious force in the darkness that's been our enemy behind a lot of our conflicts. We revealed that enemy, we put a name on it and put a face on it, and that enemy is the Witness. And the Witness is coming.
That is a
with
cool looking
its
graphic,
newly empowered
as well as
disciple,
that.
Callus.
Callus is really crash landing with a new and more powerful army than ever before. They've got new powers, they've got new armor, they've got tormentors to join their ranks that are going to be bigger and badder enemies than we've ever faced. Callus is taking that army that he's bringing with him to be the harbinger of the Witness's doom.
This is such a pivotal moment for Destiny. Everyone is coming to have a last stand with Callus and the Witness to really avoid the next collapse, something that we've been trying to avoid ever since Destiny 1.
Now check this out. The lasso. This has overtones of
We
Metroid
see in the
and
trailer that we're headed
the cable
to
arm.
Neptune, and on Neptune there's been this hidden city called Neomuna where an alternate version of humanity has been blooming since the collapse.
Neomuna is the capital city of Neptune. It's a giant metropolis that we were completely unaware existed until now. What's interesting and exciting to me about this place is that it's
Neptune.
pristine, it's new. It's not like a lot of the places that we've explored previously in Destiny. Exploring that space is very, very cool.
There's so much new stuff to discover in Neomuna and in Neptune. And also I saw some new characters there. I'm really excited to get to know Cloud Striders and their story.
Cloud Striders can be compared to Guardians. They're both protectors of a civilization that's potentially under threat.
A new race?
Guardians were chosen. It's their duty to protect humanity. Cloud Striders have chosen to protect their people.
There's like an awesome opportunity for the Guardians to learn from the Cloud Striders and their way of living and their philosophy of life.
So we've got the newness of that city, the newness of the Cloud Striders that we've never been aware of.
And then, of course, you get a glimpse of this green energy.
Yes.
I wonder what that is.
Strand is the new darkness power that we discover here. Something that's unique about Strand, unlike any of these other powers we've ever had before. When you play through Lightfall, you are discovering this power for the first time. No one in the universe ever in the history of Destiny has used Strand before.
This is the Guardian discovering darkness on their own and learning how to shape it and manipulate it and use it against Callus and his forces, and, you know, have fun in the new urban environment of Neomuna.
So,
Really
navigation will in part
for a
involve
wild
swinging
ride.
from
We just got a
area
glimpse
to area.
of our new destination, Neomuna.
Possible.
Our new foe, Callus and the Shadow Legion, paired with the Witness, and a very brief glimpse at Strand, but that's just barely scratching the surface of what this release has to offer.
Right, like what we've just seen in that trailer is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a whole lot more we're excited to show you coming up.
Last year, we wanted to return to our studio's roots in creating some of the best shooter campaigns in the industry.
That's been our legacy since Halo, and we tried to push that front and center in The Witch Queen.
And it's about more than just guns, but creating an adventure in a handcrafted world full of surprises. Then, we added the legendary campaign option, because great combat needs to challenge you, to test your thumb skill, your tactics, and your build crafting.
And we heard loud and clear that you want more of that. In fact, 2 out of every 3 players that completed the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
You tested yourself against the Witch Queen in her Lucent Hive and rose to that challenge. And then you let us know it was one of the best shooter experiences that we've ever made.
So in Lightfall, we want to push that even further. We want to give you the best Bungie action experience that we can create with the brand new Lightfall campaign.
Lightfall is going to change the way that our players move, fight, and explore everywhere in Destiny.
Neptune is this fantastic destination. The capital city of Neomuna is a really fun place to explore, and it's this bright neon metropolis. There's a harbor, office buildings, an arcade.
This is a city that we've made, and using Strand to traverse through it and explore it, it's going to be so exciting.
There's some places that once you whip out that grappling hook, ooh, you're gonna be able to explore. And
There it
get to places
is.
that you couldn't
There it is.
before.
Grappling
Look at that
hook.
up there. I wonder if I can grapple to there. I'm going to be a kid in a candy store.
Now my question is, how does that
It's not a city
interact with
that is collapsed? It is a city
older
that has
material?
lived through the collapse.
Neptune now has to deal with the cloak being pulled back and them being revealed to the world and are now central of the conflict.
Callus has taken his capital ship and just like planted it right down in part of the city, and it's Cabal occupied territory. It's a city under siege. You've got this infiltrator vibe at times where you feel like a tactical team going into a skyscraper. You're dealing with Cabal roadblocks and patrols all throughout the city. The Shadow Legion, they provide that like characteristic Cabal brute strength. They're all about like volatility and power, and they've been enhanced now by pyramid technology. They have these suppression devices that can take away some of your super, take away some of your abilities, and then they fight alongside these terrifying new pyramid units called Tormentors.
As part of his discipleship to the Witness, Callus has been upgraded, and so the Tormentors that they've brought in are these impossibly huge, unstoppable behemoths. They wield scythes, they can attack from a distance, they can bring you in close, they can drain your very life force from you. They are basically embodiments of terror.
It's like a boss character within the battlefield. Your stomach drops. You're like, okay, I'm playing through, I'm having fun, I'm popping heads, doing this thing, and then boom, there it is.
We've got all the new stuff going into the game. Strand, Tormentors, Shadow Legion, a cool new environment. These are all a great setting for a new Legendary campaign, and we're still making sure that we go through and we tweak and tune and we balance the encounters to have that right challenging level of difficulty for players.
The Legendary campaign was a huge hit coming out of the Witch Queen. It was the first time we had done that sort of elected difficulty where you could really test your skill and test your power. And so we're going to bring that back for Lightfall.
Of course, you're still going to have that high reward tier, and we still want to make sure that you get that inside track towards being raid ready.
Everyone back in the studio is so hard at work.
Okay, so if you see a point, you can grapple to it. I see it.
This whole release come alive and
If you look in the
surprise and
footage coming up,
delightful.
you'll see
I'm
green
so excited
orbs
to get
in the
this out.
distance that you can
Lightfall
grapple
is
to.
unlike anything players have seen before in Destiny, and it's another step that sends you hurtling to the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga.
Come on. Amazing.
I'm super excited to dive into Strand and talk about all the new stuff that we just saw.
Strand, like Stasis, is a power from the darkness. Unlike our light abilities, which are all about creation, darkness is more about consciousness.
Strand is psychic energy that forms this extra dimension, or this sort of matrix that connects everything together, connects all living beings and all minds. And
The Force.
you, the Guardian, are sort of gaining the knowledge and gaining the power to peer into this alternate psychic universe and begin to pull at these threads and tug at these wires that are connecting all these living beings.
When Guardians learn how to use Strand, it's almost like this third eye opens up. It's about peeling back the curtain of reality, taking those connections and then weaving them into new objects.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see them come together. Like, it's always been there, and now that we can tap into it, we can use it for our benefit, whether it's through movement or through damage.
Strand has a grappling hook. Since you're seeing into this cosmic web, you are able to grapple at any point because the cosmic web exists everywhere. Even if there's not an object there, it will hook on to that web and pull you forward. It's just taking that idea to the next level, putting that
The
destiny spin on it.
Yep. The grappling hook initially started as part of the Hunter's Kit, right? They're all about fluid movement, rapidly traversing space, and being very agile. But as we were developing, it's like, oh man, this feels like it's too much fun to just keep it.
So could you ever fall to your death
So we
if
made
you
a
had the
call to
grapple?
expand this super cool new ability across all three classes. On the design side, we wanted to come up with how each of the classes interpreted this additional psychic dimension, like in their own way, right? So the Warlock, they're the telekinetic master of Strand. So they're going to be able to telepathically reach into the Strand dimension, pull matter out, and weave it into this big barrage of these Strand missiles. Wherever they land, these missiles are actually going to unravel, sort of reweave themselves into a new form.
With the Titan, you're able to weave these claws and do an area of damage around you, spinning and slashing.
The super I think I'm most excited for is the Hunter Rope Dart super. The Hunter does a flip and weaves these strands into this rope dart and is swinging it as they're kind of moving around. The first time I saw that, even in its kind of like rough state, it just blew my mind. We've learned a lot from creating our other subclasses, and we've taken those learnings about combat, about movement, about build crafting. We've put that all into Strand, and I'm so excited to see where players take it once it's out there in the wild.
Destiny is a game that gets even better when you play with your friends. We want to create communities
Darkness
that are
looks cool.
welcoming, inclusive, and let you bring your own
Strand.
friends
That's
and
the
make new
name.
ones. And since last year, over 5 million new Guardians have joined our ranks.
We believe that there are still millions more of your friends that would love to play Destiny with you. And the things that you want to see us improve in Destiny are also exactly what's going to make it easier to convince your friends to come and check out the game.
It should be easier to create custom, incredible builds.
Here we go.
Easier to find people to play with. Easier to swap from being that boss-melting, storm-chaser-wielding, falling star juggernaut right into that ultimate Yeehaw, Dead Man's Tale shooting, Titan's Rampart crushing sentinel.
And if none of what Joe just said makes sense to you, we want to fix that too. Because it's not about removing the depth that makes Destiny so great. It's instead about allowing everyone to dive deeper with ease.
Big question, how are they going to handle PvP in that respect?
The changes we're making to make Destiny easier to come into, changes to how you build your characters, changes to how you see what there is to do and what there is to accomplish. And in the year ahead, we're actually making it easier to form groups in Destiny so you can go and do some of the greatest content that Destiny has to offer.
All the teams are working together to build this experience, and so that's what's really exciting.
We keep on hearing from players like, hey, unless I have a friend to play with, I don't know what to do. And so what we're trying to give them is like, hey, here's a path to follow. Guardian ranks are basically like a knowledge ladder. We actually progressed you through 11 ranks, and it's really like heavily focusing on like exposing players to all the systems of Destiny.
At some point, the story about you as a Guardian involves other Guardians and what they think about you. That is just a whole new...
This is their slick way of getting you to play all of their content.
That we've never really explored before. When you show up in the tower and you see that person who's at one of the highest ranks, you're going to know that you're looking at a player who's actually really demonstrated mastery of many of the different activities in Destiny.
Unfortunately, this will backfire because what will happen is people will require a certain rank to accept you into a fire team.
Will actually be asking for you to step up, to actually rise to the occasion and prove to other Guardians that you are a strong player and a strong leader.
A lot of people have groups that they already play with, but this will really provide people the opportunity to be recognized for helping other people learn the game, but also provide more people to play with on a regular basis.
In the year of Lightfall, we're going to actually be investing in building a looking for group system in Destiny itself.
There we go.
You'll be able to look for other players. You'll be able to find groups that are looking for players.
This has been missing from the game from the beginning.
Groups in the next coming year because it can be really hard to get through some of the hard content solo, and making it so much easier to find people to play with is just going to make getting into Destiny and doing the awesome content so much
This is a very
easier.
welcome change, especially for
they'll be able to
solo-centric
say,
players.
This is a player who I can trust to lead me through the new raid. I want to join their group. Or they can say, these are players who are new to the activity. I want to take them for that first raid because that'll be a great experience for them.
This is good.
And a
This is
valuable
very
experience
good.
for me as a leader.
It's really going to help players come together and understand each other better when they've never met before. It's going to make the game so much more social, and I think that it's going to really make Destiny players feel like they're on one team.
So Commendations is a feature that you'll experience towards the end of an activity. So you end the activity now and you get to see the screen that has all the people you played with. You can click on one of the Guardians and choose what experience you had with them. So like, were they a good team player? Were they fun to play with?
Uber
There's
ratings.
no better way to actually show how good a person is as a teammate or as a leader than to have other players say, this person's a great teammate, this person's a great leader. It's really a system that's designed to let players show appreciation for each other.
Also, using the commendation system, people are going to be able to say like, hey, this person as a good leader, and looking at the Guardian rank system, they have a lot of experience. It's going to be,
This could be good, it could be bad. I'll
this
keep an
hard
open
content
mind.
that
We'll
I've
see
been
how it goes.
struggling with.
Social games like Destiny give you an opportunity to like really connect with other people and do things together and get to know each other. And with a system like LFG, you're making it so that more people can get that experience started than ever before.
Both the loadout screen and the mod manager are completely new features.
The mod manager is meant to make build construction Destiny a lot easier.
So they're building DIM, Destiny Item Manager, into it.
So we're going to take
Wow.
what we did for the fashion game and we're bringing it to the Buildcraft game. There's going to be one screen where you can go to and do your entire loadout for your character. It's going to be amazing.
So you'll be able to save the build that you've put together as a loadout and then switch between those things as you're going from activity to activity.
Right now, this is handled
Yeah, I
by
feel like
third-party
with the new
applications like
release
Destiny Item
and
Manager.
The commendation system
Having it built into the
Guardian
game,
ranks, we're giving players
good idea.
even new aspirations. It isn't going to be just about power level. It won't just be about gear. It's also going to be about that Guardian rank. It's going to be about those commendations. It's all the ways that we're bringing players together.
So today, we are also launching a brand new season of Destiny 2. And as we've evolved our seasons over the years, we've learned a lot. And I think we've been able to deliver some amazing character moments and events for the community.
We're long past the era of content drips. Instead, there are exciting story and events happening in Destiny almost every week, year-round. And we're not slowing down.
Each season, we want to keep raising the bar for narrative experiences in any live game. We want to keep pushing to create unexpected adventures that'll make every season of Destiny unique. And we want to keep listening and learning from you, the Destiny community, so that we can create the strongest seasons of any live service.
Because the witness is coming. And if we want to survive, we need a crew. We need to enrich our defenses. If you're feeling surly, maybe even loot our enemies.
We may even need to find a captain to join us on our next adventure in the Season of Plunder.
Season of Plunder. Pirate themed.
The old crew's now really under her command.
I've read about them.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, with the Arc 3.0 and the Fallen, break out that Risk Runner. Break out the Risk Runner. It's going to be huge.
Go show those pirates what happens when they cross Spectre.
Getting a Ratchet and Clank vibe off of this. Ooh. Interesting weapon. Jolt.
Sorry, getting a little swept up in all this adventuring.
Here we go.
What are you most excited about for Season of Plunder?
Pirates.
Anyone who's played Ratchet and Clank will recognize pirates. I mean, this is very much in vibe with it.
Mysteries and secrets. We're swashbuckling onto enemy spaceships. And then we're also learning a lot of things about some of our favorite characters.
We're going to have an adventure this season.
Season of Plunder kicks off with Aramis being freed from her icy prison. She's collected old, fallen crews of pirates and rogue cabal together in order to hunt down mysterious relics and treasures.
It's time to meet your end.
So Guardians are tasked with stopping Aramis from collecting these relics. And in order to do that, you have to create your own crew of shady dealers and backroom brokers.
Drifter, Mithrax, Ido, and Spider are going to be helping you.
Anchors away. Ready when you are, Captain.
That's the beginning of Season of Plunder. What you're going to be doing is forming a pirate crew of your own. You're going to fill it with different crew members that you can recruit over the course of the season. Drifter is going to toss you the keys to your personal catch. Then you're just going to set out into the stars and do cool pirate stuff.
I'm so excited.
This season, we
This will
have
be different.
multiple brand new activities coming that will really give you a sense of being on a pirate adventure. One of the mainstays of this season is a new 6-player offensive called Catch Crash.
When I saw the concept for the catch with the big mainsails on, I just said, oh my god, this is gonna be a fun season.
just like seeing Catch
New
Crash
ships.
through the different iterations, like fighting on the deck of the ship.
You get to become your own ammunition and launch yourself from a cannon to the other ship, and you are the weapon, so you're gonna go mess them up.
The second big activity we have coming this season is called Expedition. You're going to be guiding a massive drill that's looking for this buried, hidden pirate treasure, and you're going to have to be fending off of all these pirate crews trying to protect their hoards. And then our final new activity coming this season is what we're calling Pirate Hideouts.
We have so many like different little maps that you can piece together fragments of this season, and they lead you to the lair of the pirate lord, right? Their hideout.
These are their caves where they're hoarding all of their amazing treasures and their mysterious relics.
These relics are mysterious objects of dark power, and they're all over the system. We don't know exactly what it is they do yet, but if Aramis is trying to collect them, it's nothing good.
Taking the opportunity to line the ARC 3.0 update with the Fallen, it just went to work out perfectly because you got all the simple ARC weaponry and the ARC shielded captains. It feels right with that release, almost like we planned it.
ARC is a damage type that's about proximity, right? It's about going fast up into your enemy spaces and like deleting them. It's the damage type for people that want to hold W. You don't want to retreat.
Unbridled aggression to the max.
Hunter is really about close range action, being fluid and dynamic and agile, evasive.
Trespasser is ARC, I believe.
We call it
Trinity Ghoul,
where you summon
Risk
ARC
Runner.
Like twirl it above your head and it'll launch it out, and then it will embed
One of the
into
swords
ground
is ARC.
or into, like,
Tosses an
bosses,
arc
main
bolt.
boss or
I can't
champions,
remember its name.
jolt them. Like a big lightning strike will strike the staff and overcharge it. And while that staff is overcharged, it'll start Tesla
Found
coiling
verdict
little
shotgun.
lightning bolts out at nearby enemies. Warlock is kind of this elemental conduit. You are a class that will turn yourself into lightning. You will create things out of lightning. Previously, we had this exotic armor piece called Getaway Artist, where you consume your grenade and it'll make a what we call a sentient arc soul that fires faster and does more damage as a result. So we decided to roll that into base arc soul behavior. Anytime you are amplified, any arc soul you have from any source will become the supercharged version that will fire off just rapid fire bolts.
Any idea what PvP is going to look like?
Titan's about being this unstoppable freight train. It's about this constant movement. So we gave Titans a new movement option. Something that we felt like is going to be competitive in this new environment of air dodges and air slams. That's a new ability called Thruster. And it's all in first person. It's all very much in the heat of the moment. You see it happen. Its whole property is like rush down or get away. It's a movement tool to the max. There's going to be this new melee ability called Thunderclap, which is like an amazing thing where he like charges his fist, all super flashy. It's our first ever charge melee, so you hold down the button, and as that cocks back and charges up, you'll end up doing more damage and getting a little bit more range. And speaking of like the whole goal of deleting things, I believe in PvP a full charge is a one-shot kill.
It is, oh yeah.
It's a little skillful to like pull off because you're gonna have to really read your opponent here. The whole through line with ARC is like, it really isn't that complicated. It's move fast, hit hard, and stay alive.
What I'm most excited about in Season of Plunder is that this is really a season that has a sense of adventure. You're exploring the system, you're looking for pirate treasure, pirate relics. You're seeing the world evolve in a way we haven't done before.
I love that with the activities in the season, like we just leaned really hard into the pirate fantasies. I love that we have your own catch. I love that you're tracking down buried treasure and then going after the pirate leaders in their caves.
The interesting thing about Destiny is we're not just a fantasy game or a sci-fi game, we're kind of a blend of both. We take inspiration when we say pirates, it's old world pirates that you would see traditionally back in the 17 and 1800s. We have like a flintlock pistol, we have an exotic fusion rifle that plays different than fusion rifles you've ever seen before.
It's just like end to end, just really leaning into that spirit of like the pirate adventure, and let's also make it so that
Blunderbuss is what it reminds me of. An old pirate gun.
The gift to the Thunder Gods is a starter kit. It's a set of armor, it's a Thunderlord exotic weapon.
So jump in, join your friends, set sail, become the captain, and build your crew today in Destiny.
And everyone was right. King's Fall is the returning raid. And I wonder what modifications they'll have to it, and whether they'll bring back Grasp of Malice or such weapons. I assume they would. I hated this part. Man, I'll have to brush up on that. It's been so long.
Man, it is so awesome seeing King's Fall return to Destiny.
Yeah, actually, King's Fall was the first thing I got to work on at Bungie. And I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of Guardians will get to experience this refreshed and reloaded showdown with the Taken King.
So, we've shown you Lightfall. We've shown you the new damage type, Strand. We've shown you some of the deeper changes to the game that we're going to be making throughout the next year. But we have one more thing that we are excited to announce today.
Here we go.
Destiny is coming to the Epic Game Store today.
Epic has been an absolutely fabulous partner to work with. They love Destiny. And we are just huge fans of what they've been doing in the social game space. When we first started working with Epic, we sat down and talked about the impact that their games have had on us. And they had a bunch of the same stories for us.
They shared stories about playing the Vault of Glass and how much they enjoyed the social experiences in Destiny. And I got to talk about the summer of Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 5, when my whole family was laser focused, taking turns to the island to unlock Drift.
In addition to launching all of Destiny 2 on the Epic Game Store today, for the next week, if you download the game on Epic, we will give you the 30th anniversary for free. If you haven't earned your Galahorn yet, or you haven't played the Grasp dungeon, come to the Epic Game Store and you can jump in for free.
We want to welcome all these new Guardians with a celebration. One that stretches
I'm not sure
further.
what that's about. I'm going to have to look that up. Wow, I'm missing something here because I don't know why a Sony-funded game needs epics or epic.
Darkness saga. This journey, years in the making, is coming to an end. Since we started charting our own course, we've been building this story across 5 years of expansions since the first pyramid ship emerged in Shadowkeep when we first spoke to the Darkness. Then, across Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and coming up in Lightfall in the final shape, we're building towards a climactic collision between the powers of light and dark.
We've also been working on the Destiny engine behind the scenes, preparing our technology and our game to last for many, many years to come. Because Destiny 2 is not going anywhere, and neither are your expansions. We want this story, since we first communed with the Darkness on the Moon, to be fully playable, start to finish. And we're happy to announce today that we are not planning to sunset any more
Not planning to.
We want the Destiny universe to grow, and we're going to continue to do everything that we can behind the scenes to keep that possible within our game engine.
But enough about the distant future. Let's talk about today, the best day all year to jump into Destiny.
Yes, because if you're looking to catch up, right now, all expansions are free to play for this entire week on every platform for everyone.
Right now, Season of Plunder is live, and the Helm's got a set of supercharged art gear for anyone looking to catch up on the fun.
Destiny is live
I
on
have
the
to
Epic
buy
Games
that.
Store. You can download it for free, and you can get the 30th anniversary pack as your welcome gift.
And if you liked what you saw about the future, right now, pre-orders for Lightfall are live on all platforms. And anyone who purchases the annual pass gets the exotic auto rifle Quicksilver Storm today.
Today is a perfect day to play Destiny.
Or you can just get it yourself in game when you earn it. I inevitably play these games, but I always like to wait until I see what's going on, how things are being handled before I do it. I'm just old school that way. Let the buyer beware.
What is the human word?
I don't know about the Ninja Turtle character.
What they do then, that is who they are.
Well, there was a lot of exciting stuff there. Some stuff might be a little sketchy. We'll see. You know, the building, the worst thing I saw, I'll start with that. The worst thing that I saw was the building your reputation through playing through their different game modes. I get it in concept. It's not a horrible idea. I just know how it's going to play out. And it's going to create more gating. One of the problems traditionally with LFG type sites is that you'll usually be gated based on either your experience or the weapons that you possess. And now what they've done is they've created a situation where if you don't have a certain ranking on your whatever they want to call them, triumphs or whatever, you're not allowed to go. We've seen it all before. And the difficulty is, if they don't allow a way for a solo player to do that, then there's no way in the world. I mean, it's one of those deals, you can't have a job without experience, and you can't get experience without a job deal. You know, so a little sketchy on that. Now, the new subclasses, the new Darkness subclass looks great. I think it's exciting to be able to grapple around in an arena, if nothing else. I think Arc is going to be the dominant subclass, at least initially. I think the Power Fantasy looks like it's going to be, they're going to let it run free, and we'll see how it goes. I am a little curious about what restorative capabilities will go along with this rework that pretty much requires you to be nose to nose with your enemies. It sounds like a high risk, high reward proposition if they don't have some recuperative capabilities built into it, but given the way the last season went with Solar, where that was a bit overdone, you know, I can't imagine them going down that path again, because the last thing in the world, for instance, PvP needs is people who can run around at you at full speed with impunity, because they know that no matter what damage you do to them, they'll kill you and then they'll be able to recover. So for an older player like me, a new subclass coming in with speed built in, you know, that's really going to tax my reflexes in order to be able to be competent in it. But you know what? The game's not just made for me. So people enjoy it. It'll be great. That'll be good for the game. So we'll see how it goes.
Hey Guardians, and welcome to the Destiny 2 Showcase post-show.
And I'm going to cap it here because I don't really think,
because it is so good
I don't really care too much about this.
Things the teams have been working on.
And I'm going to get prepped for the launch here in about 10 minutes. So I want to thank you for watching. This is Iron Bill signing off.